Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall, Tuesday, 5th of September 2023. In today's Millwall news, we start off with this from the southwarknews.co.uk. Rowett gives his take on excellent Brooke Norton-Cuffy after his second Millwall outing. The Arsenal loanee will be hoping to hit the same heights as last season when he and former club Coventry City went all the way to the playoff final. Rowett thought Brooke Norton-Cuffy was excellent in the first half against Birmingham City on Saturday as the Arsenal loanee made his second appearance for Millwall. The 19-year-old debuted in the 1-0 win over Stoke City, but judged his own performance as only alright before getting another start against Birmingham. During a wide-open first half, Norton-Cuffy got forward several times and sent a couple of well-delivered balls into the box during an energetic performance. This is despite the fact that he's still building up match sharpness after a limited pre-season at Arsenal. Asked if he saw more energy in his performance against Birmingham compared to Stoke, Millwall boss Rowett said, "I think he showed similar energy to last week. I thought he was very good last week as well. He hasn't played many minutes this season, so I thought for the first half it was excellent. I also thought Muzzle was getting forward well in the first half. Obviously a bit more of a defensive player than Brooke. But we got to 60 minutes and they both looked to be fatiguing a little bit. We need to get to a point where the players come back after the international break and they keep turning over those physical performances out. I'm pretty sure they will." Both Norton-Cuffy and Wallace were replacing the final 15 minutes for new signings who arrived on deadline day. Ryan Longman and Alan Campbell made their first appearances in the Millwall shirt, and we're hoping to build on now for the international break when the Lions host rivals Leeds United. And that's the story. Now moving on to the meat of today's video. A weird and annoying story, I think. This is from the FA.com. It's from their rules and regulations section. Millwall's head of youth recruitment, Barry Dunn, suspended for 8 weeks. If you're not familiar with this story, I made a video about it. The video is titled "Woke Struggle Session. Creepy Weirdo Scans Millwall Employees' Tweets to Force Millwall to Sack Him." And that creepy weirdo is called Shahir Chowdhury from this website, islam21c.com. Posing as a journalist, he is an activist, and you can watch the video and find all of it. Just search for the Daily Millwall Woke Struggle, and it'll pop up on your YouTube situation. So yeah, what's going on here then? So Millwall's head of youth recruitment, Barry Dunn, has been suspended from all football and football-related activity for 8 weeks with immediate effect. Fined £520, ordered to attend a mandatory face-to-face re-education programme, and has received a reprimand and warning as to his future conduct for a breach of misconduct in relation to social media activity. It was alleged that he interacted with a social media post that is insulting and or indecent and or improper, contrary to FA Rule E3.1. It was further alleged this activity constitutes an aggravated breach, which is defined in FA Rule E3.2, as the post included a reference, whether express or implied, to religion or belief. Barry Dunn admitted the charge, and his sanctions were subsequently imposed by an independent, in quotes, regulatory commission following a personal hearing. So they have the old whole notes from the meeting. So the independent people on the panel is Raj Parker, Sally Davenport, and Francis Duku. That sounds they sound very independent, don't they? Which way do you think they're going to side? So, reasons for decision given on the 31st of August. So this happened over a week ago, and it's just coming out now. Following a report from Kick It Out, the Football Association was alerted to a tweet dated 15th of March 2023 from an account redacted under the caption, "My dad would be devastated." It showed a picture of a line of well-tended graves with the caption, "They died." Directly underneath, it showed a picture of a street with many Muslim men kneeling in an attitude of prayer with the caption for this. Yeah, the tweet is in the video that I told you about. The video that I made. When is the date of that video? 3 months ago. So what would that be? June, May. Mr. Barry Dunn retweeted the post on his Twitter account, Barry Dunn 99, on the same day. The account has since been deleted. The FA charged Barry Dunn with a breach of the rule by a charge of letter issued on the 13th of June. Barry Dunn is the head of Academy Football at Millwall FC. The rule states, a participant shall at all times act in the best interests of the game and shall not act in any manner which is improper or brings the game into disrepute or use any one or any combination of violent conduct, serious foul play, threatening, abusive, indecent or insulting words or behaviour. 3.2, a breach of 3.1 is an aggravated breach where it includes a reference, whether express or implied, to any one or more of the following: ethnic origin, colour, race, nationality, religion or belief, gender, gender reassignment, sexual orientation or disability. The FA alleged that breach of 3.1 is an aggravated breach as defined in Rule 3.2 has included a reference of whether express or implied to religion or belief. There was no dispute at the hearing that the tweet was highly offensive and the aggravated breach was admitted to by Barry Dunn. Initially, Barry Dunn denied the charge and asked for a personal hearing to determine a liability. In his email to the FA on 17th of May 2023, Barry Dunn stated, having reviewed the offending retweet again, with the wonderful benefit of hindsight, I can now see how its message would cause offence to people both within and outside the Islamic faith. As I go on to explain, this was not how I viewed the post on the evening of the 15th of March. Nevertheless, I can now see that the post message is discriminatory and offensive. So he ended up admitting it, and we'll go. So what happens is, on the 15th of March, I believe the post related to the desecration of war graves by Muslim extremists, which would have devastated the tweeter's father, a World War soldier, had he still been alive. I can see now, a proper time to view and reflect, that the two photos are completely unrelated to each other, so taken as a whole, the post is unfairly demeaning and therefore offensive to the Islamic faith. When Barry Dunn personally addressed the IRC in mitigation, however, he said that he did not believe the post related to desecration of war graves by Muslim extremists. An email from Barry Dunn's lawyer, Mr. Cole, on the 21st of June 2023 to the FA continued to indicate the charge would be contested. My client denies the charge under Rule E3.1 because of a subjective analysis. Retweeting something under a mistaken understanding of its content and or intended meaning cannot be deemed improper, threatening, abusive, indecent, insulting or bringing the game into disrepute. In other words, for conduct to breach Rule E3.1 is impropriety needs to be intentional, not derivative from a mistake. If on my client's case his conduct did not contravene Rule E3.1, then the question of aggravation must fall away under Rule E3.2. Well, obviously, of course. However, having received the FA's reply brief dated 28th of July 2023, on 10th of August, Mr. Cole belatedly admitted on behalf of Barry Dunn the aggravated breach, and matter proceeded to a personal hearing in which the question of Barry Dunn's state of mind, which is only relevant as to mitigation and the appropriate sanction, was considered. So they basically bullied him into admitting it. That's what they said. There's a note there. So you see on the 28th of July 2023, there's a 1. We go down. So which reference FA versus John Yems. So basically they said, we've already found this other guy, John Yems. He tried the same thing. He said he didn't think it was offensive. If you don't know what he did, he basically said, what's wrong with you? He does black players in the change room. He said, what's wrong with you guys? You're playing shit. Why are you not fighting? Where's your spirit? I thought you were like Zulu warriors. And that is a stupid thing to say and shit. But he didn't mean it in any other way than it's like, you're like warriors, you're fighters. Why are you being fucking lackadaisical and shit? And basically, the players reported him because like the player that was playing shit fucking reported him, and he got in trouble for that. So they basically said, look, this guy got both barrels. You're gonna get it too. and they told him that, and then he basically reversed his decision and admitted it. He put his hands up after they basically told him. So they sent that to him on the 20th of July saying, "This is, we got this other guy, we're going to get you." So, and then you can see on the 10th of August 2023, Mr. Cole blatantly admitted on behalf of BD the aggravated breach, and the matter proceeded to a personal hearing in which the question Barry Dunn's state of mind. So he's basically admitted it. He's going to plead guilty. But they've still got to bring him in front of the trial. Yeah, they've still got to tar and feather him and put him through the ordeal, because that's what they've got to do to these type of people, isn't it? They want to stick it to you. His explanation was that he did not intend to retweet the offensive material and instead retweeted it under a mistaken apprehension as to its meaning and content. The committee, having heard Barry Dunn and considered all the material facts, finds that his explanation does not withstand scrutiny. The tweet is plain and obvious in its offensive depiction of the Muslim community. In what way? In what way? It's basically just saying someone, an English person, from many years ago, from the Victorian and the Edwardian times, if they saw what this country had become, they would be absolutely fucking disgusted. Is that not true? Is that not true? They were looking at H.G. Wells and thinking about that in the future we would have flying cars, we'd be going to the moon. They didn't fucking think that their country would become an absolute fucking shithole in certain parts. How would they not be fucking disgusted? Did you see the photos that were coming out of fucking on Hill Carnival last week? What if you showed that to a Victorian person? How do you think they would fucking feel about that? The explanation given in his response to the FA of 17th of May was he said at the hearing simply wrong. The RRC finds his explanation that he did not intend to retweet the offensive material and that it was retweeted under a mistake, as to meaning content has not been made out of the balance of probabilities. So basically they had to call him in and call him a liar and go through all this sham kangaroo trial as it is. The RRC finds that it therefore provides no mitigation. On the finding of an aggravated breach, there are specific exceptions set out in the FA handbook to this minimum period. These include where the RRC is satisfied there was no genuine intent on the part of the person charged to be discriminatory or offensive in any way, and that they should not reasonably have known any such offence would have caused. The RRC finds that this exemption does not apply on the facts of this case. The RRC finds that Barry Dunn was familiar with retweeting. In fact, retweeted some 841 times in the 3 years that he had a Twitter account. Well, if he just retweets all the time, surely you can make the case that he literally, genuinely, just half looked at that post and then retweeted it. That he didn't genuinely know what it was. He believed it to be one thing and retweeted it. Because you're literally telling there that he's done 841 retweets in 3 years. The RRC accepts the FA's case that on the balance of probabilities, Barry Dunn at the very least regularly retweeted the offensive material. Sanction: a 6 to 12 match suspension is the minimum recommended range for an aggravated breach of Rule E3 by a player, manager, or technical area occupant, subject to the need to impose an overall sanction, which is just in all the circumstances. The RRC has carefully considered the matters submitted in mitigation of sanctions by Mr. Cole and the evidence given by Barry Dunn in person. He gives credit for Barry Dunn's apology. So this is the thing, like they have to force you to apologise and grovel. That's what they want. They want to put their boot on your knee, on your neck. You know what I mean? That's what this is about. Acknowledged by Mr. Phillips for the FA, without which the overall sanction would have been more severe. The RRC also notes that the FA did not dispute that this was a one-off incident, and Barry Dunn has a 15-year career in football and a clean disciplinary record. The IRC has also taken account of the numerous character references and other positive statements about his character and work put forward on Barry Dunn's behalf. And if you look down, there's a note, and that's from Kenny Brown, Paul Phillips, Bert Dawkins, Darryl Le Victoire, and Jaden Texas. So fair play to those putting putting their necks out and standing by this absolute sham of a fucking disgusting kangaroo trial. It takes into account Barry Dunn's age, 71, that he's been suspended on full pay from his duties at Millwall since the 15th of May 2023. There are other aggravating features in this case, really. Persons who occupy leadership positions of trust and responsibility in the coaching and management of football are role models for many others and have the ability to shape culture and lead change in and outside their clubs. Now, this is particularly so when a person is head of recruitment at a club who is involved with players under the age of 18. Barry Dunn's retweet was public and could have been viewed by those he was responsible for, their parents, and many others. Social networking websites require particular care and attention. Conduct by persons in positions of responsibility that supports a discriminatory or divisive culture damages the promotion of equality, diversity, and inclusivity in the football community. The FA rightly take misconduct by such persons very seriously. They are required to act in the best interest of the game at all times. So here's what they handed down. Barry Dunn is reprimanded and warned to his future conduct. Barry Dunn is suspended from all football club related activities for 8 weeks. Barry Dunn is fined a sum of £525, which is 1 week's wage net. Barry Dunn will personally attend a one-to-one FA education course to be advised to him by the FA. The sanction may be appealed in accordance with the relevant FA regulations. Well, why would you do that? Because it's clearly that this is all just a setup. It's complete nonsense. And this is utterly fucking bizarre. And if we go back up here, where are we gonna go? So here's the thing here. This is what here's the thing here. So you can't talk about any of these things. So you can't say that women are shit at football. You can't say that transgenders are not real women or real men. You can't say that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. And a man who wears a dress and cuts his dick off is neither. Just a man who's cut his dick off. Because that'll get you in trouble. You can't say any of that. You can't do anything. You can't mention that. Because then they'll bring you in front of this kangaroo court and make an example of you and put their foot on your neck. You can't mention that. You can't do any of that. But when they want you to fucking kneel before a game for fucking Black Lives Matter, you have to do it. When they want you to wear rainbow laces, you have to do it. You can't. So you can't mention anything. You can't mention. You can't disagree with any of that. You have to go along with that. You can't say anything that's listed here. You can't say Christ is King. You can't do anything because this literally covers everything here. Anything you say will be used against you. And it's a complete fucking sham. Like I said, if you want the full story, if you haven't seen it, go and watch this video. It's just it's a complete fucking stitch up. Anyway, moving on to this from millfc.co.uk. Millwall Football Club hiring Commis Chef. A Millwall Football Club is seeking a Commis Chef to work alongside the performance head chef at the club's Calmont Road training ground. This role will assist with the daily operation of the kitchen, whilst ensuring that the reputation for excellent food quality is upheld. So it looks like Lurch has got a bit sick of it and they're trying to get someone else in. So closing day for applications is Friday the 15th of September. Let's have a look. What are they doing? So here we go. So this role will assist with the daily operation of the kitchen whilst ensuring that the reputation for excellent food quality is upheld. Offering breakfast, lunch and snacks. All snacks. 70 to 80 players and staff Monday to Friday with occasional weekends required. Will have a strong desire to work with an elite performance environment. There you go. There's all the things that you got to do there. Basic stuff, really. It's basically like a glorified dinner lady, except you've got to do mornings. Vegan? Who's a vegan? Oh, Bart's a vegan, isn't he? I don't know if anyone else is vegan at the club. So there's what you got to do. There's what you got to have. Early start. You got to be there at 7 a.m. But it's literally just you do the same hours that the players do, which is, but you got to come in a bit early. When time do they start? Probably like 10 a.m. something like that now. But yeah, so it's literally like working in the mornings. You get the nights off, literally like a dinner lady. I imagine when the off season, you don't have to work. So there you go. 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. Yeah, is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. Moving on to this, Mill's under 18s are absolutely romping it. They are scoring goals for fun. I think their first two league games were 4-1 victories. They have now won 6-1 against Luton Town in their cup. They've entered the cup, Development League Cup, which is a competition that goes on, but for some reason our under 21 don't enter it, even though other under 21 teams do. Probably because don't really have that much big of a squad, so fair enough, I guess. You don't want the extra games. Millwall under 18s defeated Luton Town 6-1. 6-1 in the Professional Development League Cup group stage on Saturday. The Lions were 2-0 up inside 5 minutes as George Bowman and Cavalli Hayward found the net, with Frankie Baker's strike making it 3-0 at half time. Hayward's second made it 4-0 early in the second half, before 2 goals in 2 minutes from Joshua Stevenson and Jack Howland completed the rout. Larry McAvoy and Chris Berry's side also take on Colchester United and Ipswich Town, both away from home in their final 2 group stage fixes. So it seems like a little regional league there. You've got Luton, Colchester, Ipswich, and then Millwall. Kind of like sort of regional, I guess. So it seems that was a home game. They mentioned that the other 2 games are away from home. A bit unfair. You've got 3 games in the cup group stage, not home and away, just like 1 game versus each team, and 2 of them are away and 1's at home. So the Millwall team was Penny, Hodgerman, Ologbodi, Mansour, Taylor, Stevenson, Howland, Massey, Baker, Hayward, Beaumont, and the subs were Kendall, O'Boyle, and Whitby, and the sub not used was Prez Wozny. So, like I said, yeah, Larry McAvoy and Chris Berry working wonders down there for the under 18s. Very well drilled, very well coached, know what they're doing, and they are scoring a lot of goals. It would be interesting to see how many of these, maybe at the end of the season, are stepping up to the under 21s. I know Stevenson's had a couple of games, Baker as well. So we'll watch them with great interest. Obviously, being under 18s, it's probably not fair to talk about them too much because it's still kind of kids. So the under 21s, they're all adults. They're all over 18. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.